Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Steve, your host. And in this final video of Sunday side build for our Leo 1A4, we're going to do a little bit of detail painting and I'm going to give you a final reveal. I really like this kit. I hope you guys enjoy the video and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All right, guys. Thank you. Okay, we are going to start off with doing the wood handles on our mallet, our shovels, and our pickaxes. What I like to do is I like to start off with something in the yellow or light brown range is our base, and once we get that on the tools, we'll come back with a little raw umber oil paint. We'll just put little dots on the attachment points and where handles meet or where metal meets the wood, and we'll try to simulate the wood grain, or at least give it a wooden appearance. So what I like to do is I just kind of like to drag a moistened brush with mineral spirits towards the center of each part of the handle, whether it's separated by a attachment point or actually a connection between wood and metal. And with this method, I've used a little bit too much. I can just remove it just with the moistened brush, and really I can just keep moving the oil paint around until I get it what I like. So here, what you can see is this is what it looks like. You can see that the wooden handles, they don't show any grain, but they have a wooden appearance. So from from about a foot away, they look pretty good. And now what we want to do is we want to dry brush the tools just to show a little bit of wear and make them stand out a bit. We don't want to make the tools silver, so a really old school dry brush, and because the dark color of the tools on top of the dark green, they kind of get lost in the sauce, as they say. So this way we can just kind of bring them out. And what I'll end up doing later is just dampening down the brightness with a bit of a raw umber wash. And again, you just want to make sure you know which part of the tool is metal as opposed to which part is wood or plastic. In some of the attachment points, I'm going to have to go back and do a touch-up. I've got a little bit too much steel dry brushed onto the strap that holds the shovel in place. And again, this is all to taste. Season to taste, as they say. And from here, what we're going to do is we're just going to touch up the attachment points with a paint that's just a little bit lighter. And then we're going to go into painting the mantlet. And really, it's just a little bit of artistic license. I think the mantlet cover was a bit darker, but on a overall solid color dark green tank, I just want to show a little bit of different colors. So I'm using a Vallejo acrylics, the khaki here, and I'm just brushing it on. And I don't want to forget the sides, especially where I added to it to bring it down to cover the rest of the mantlet. And I'm going to let that dry. And I'm going to come back. This wasn't my best dry brush. I'm not sure what happened here, but I'm going to dry brush with a little bit of oils. And I did go back and clean this up a bit, but you can see there's just a little bit of wrinkling and surface detail that I want to pop on the model. And again, this will look good because your model right now is just kind of solid green. So you want some different colors in there, and you can just make the model more visually appealing and get that tonal variation in the single color paint job. So we're going to move from here, and now the Leo 1, they kept their track snow cleats on the front glacis. So what I like to do with this is, again, I want to add a little bit of color. I imagine these things were steel. They were probably a dark brown, but I just wanted to make them pop a bit. So I've got them base coated the same color as the as the model. It's that olive gelb, and I'm just going over with a very watery coat of Vallejo rust, a rust color from Vallejo. And I'm just gonna brush that into places. And what I want to do is I just want to give it a hint of just a different color, and not too rusty, but just enough. And again, season to taste, however you like your rust. So what you can see, it's pretty garish at the moment, and I've got the rust over the strapping for the ice cleats. But now I'm going to knock it down a little bit once it dried with a raw umber wash. And again, I got a lot of mileage out of raw umber oil and Naples yellow, so I just want to foot stomp that. They are great colors to have in your oil palette. So now this will go on, and I'll let this dry a bit. I'll let it dry completely, and it just kind of tones down the orange of the rust. So now what I want to do is, and again, this is just artistic license. I want the ice cleats to pop a bit, so I'm just gonna lightly brush them with steel. I don't want to make it too garish, because the reality of it is the only time these would get worn, as opposed to having a patina of rust, would be if they were in contact with the ground. But I just want them to stand out a bit. So now you can see that I've got the ice cleats painted. I think they look pretty good, and it just gives another visual point of interest for your model. So I've got the strapping painted down. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to do my best to introduce a bit of chipping. I'm going to have to clean it up a little bit because my chips are too big. When it comes to chipping, small is better. A lot of small chips as opposed to, several large chips. The difference is amazing. Stick with smaller chips. And I would think that these brackets coming on and off and laid on the ground and sliding, the tracks out, they would have gotten nicked and scratched. So I'm going to start with a lighter color, then I'll go back in and make the actual chip. So again, you can skip this step if you're not comfortable with this color on your vehicle, but I really think it adds visual interest to your vehicle. So I'm done with the detail painting. I've got the tank on the turntable, so here is the finished product. I really like this kit. I think for something that came out in 1977, this is an excellent kit. And for the money, it is great value. So if you see one and you want something, a palette cleanser for an easy build, this is a great kit. I think the Italeri Leos are pretty good. They need a little bit of work, but so does everything. It's not a Tamiya kit, but I really think this is a nice kit. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you guys have a great day.